So in the previous chapter, we have discussed that we'll be conducting an experiment. All the outcomes of the experiment will be placed in sample spaces or no. Sample space will have all possible outcomes of an experiment. Okay. So here the event will be defined as the outcomes of interest we will be placing in the event. Okay. So in the last class we have discussed that event can be described is used to determine the property of an experiment. Okay, so here the events is used to determine the property of experiment, and we also discussed that event will describe the characteristics of outcomes. What are the characteristics of outcomes can also be defined by the event. Okay, so these 2 points we have discussed, and we also discussed that events can be described in 2 ways. Okay, either we can use descriptive method to describe the event, or we can use numerical method to describe the event. Okay, so for example, if you are using descriptive method to describe the event, so the event will be defined like this: draw a spade. Okay, draw an even number, draw a odd number, like that we will be using descriptive method to describe the event. Or if you are using the numerical, then we are checking like this: what is the possibility of getting outcome is 3. Okay, what is the possibility of getting the value 1, 3, 5? Okay, so that we will be describing the event with the numericals. Okay, so these are the 2 ways we can describe the event. Either we can use descriptive method and numerical method to describe the event. Okay, so this also we have discussed in the last chapter. And in this chapter what we do here, we are defining the event in a new manner. Okay, so what is that? Here we have to define the event only in the numerical manner. Okay, we define the event only in the numerical manner. Okay, so here the new concept is that of random in nature. Okay, so the event will also be defined in the random in nature. Okay, so what is the importance of this is, it is used as a powerful tool in the solution of practical probabilistic problems. Okay, so that is why we have to define the events only in the numerical manner. Okay, so this concept is of random in nature. Okay, so what is the importance of this? This is very important because it is used as a powerful tool in the solution of practical probabilistic problems. Okay, so this also we have discussed. Okay, so because whatever signals occurring in nature, if you see, all the signals are in random in nature, so you cannot predict what is going to happen next. Okay, so that is why all the signals are random in nature. So we should define, or we should design a model which will give the solutions to the random problems. Okay, so probabilistic problems means this is means we cannot predict the output. Probabilistic means what? You cannot guess the output. Okay, it is in random in nature. So that is why we have to obtain the solution. So we should design a method for that. That is why events should be always described in numerical manner. That is or also of random in nature. Okay, so that is the importance of this particular chapter. Okay, now we discuss what is random variable. Okay, so here we define random variable as a real function. Okay, random variable is defined as a real function of the elements of sample space. Okay, so it is defined as a real function of elements of sample space. Okay, and we also discussed that the random variables will be denoted with capital letters. Okay, and the values of random variable will be denoted with lowercase letters. Okay, so it is that random variables are denoted with capital letters, and the values are denoted with lowercase letters. Okay, so here what is that we do? So for example, we have an experiment. Okay, so the sample space of the experiment we denote with yes. Okay, S is used to denote the sample space of the experiment with the elements. We also know that the sample space we denote with capital S, and The elements we denote with small s. Okay, so small s is used to represent the elements. Okay, then what is that? The random variable is defined as, just now we have discussed, random variable is a real function of the elements of sample space. Okay, so what are the elements here? Small s are the elements, so it is x of s. Okay, so it is function of elements of sample space, so we denote it as x of s. Okay, so this x of s is called random variable. This x of s is called random variable. Okay, so here you see here, random variable x can be considered to be a function that maps, what it will do, it will map all the elements of sample space into the point on the real axis. Okay, so this is the exact definition of random variable. What random variable do? Random variable is a function that maps all elements of sample space into the points on the real line. Okay, so that is called random variable. Okay, now we see this example here. We have discussed that we are flipping a coin as well as we are throwing a die. Okay, so we are doing these two at a time. Okay, we are flipping a coin as well as rolling a die. Okay, so in this experiment, if we conduct, what is the sample space? The sample space will have the 12 elements, yes or no? So what are the sample space elements here? So whenever you are getting head, what are the chances of getting the value on the die will be varying from 1 to 6. Whenever we get tail, what are the chances of getting the value on the die will be varying from 1 to 6. Okay, so what are the total number of elements in the sample space will be, there are 12 elements in the sample space. Okay, now what is that here? We have to define a function so that these elements are mapped onto the real line. Okay, so what is the function we have defined here? So it is given like this: when a coin head outcome, okay, so a coin head outcome corresponds to positive value of x. Whenever you are getting head, it means that you are getting the positive value of x, and the value will be equal to number show up on the die. Okay, so head means nothing but positive value. Okay, and whatever value you are getting on die will be the value shows up. Okay, okay, that is the number you are getting. So when you are getting a kind tail t, okay, so when you are getting tail t, in that case, what is the outcome corresponds to negative value of x. Okay, so you are getting negative value of x. Okay, and it is also, it is given that the function is given like this: it is also equal to in magnitude, uh, equal in magnitude to the twice the number that shows up on the die. Okay, what it is given, if you are getting head means that it is the positive value, so the number will be equal to whatever value shows up on the die. When you are getting tail, it means it is negative value, so what is the magnitude of negative value will be twice the number shows up on the die. Okay, so this is the function we are using here. So if you use this function, this sample space will be mapped to the real line using like this. Okay, you see here this figure. So if you are getting head means what is that? It corresponds to positive value. If you are getting tail means it, what is that? It corresponds to negative value. So the function is defined like that. Okay, so that is why we are taking, if our function is different, we can take the different relation. Okay, since our function is defined like this, we have to take like this only. Now you see here, when your die is showing 1, yeah, it is also mapping to 1. Okay, whatever value shows up on the die, so the number on the real axis will be equal to the value shows up on the die. So if it is 2, it is also mapped to 2, like that on the positive side. So whereas on negative side, okay, the number will be equal to the twice the number shows up on the die. Okay, so you know that if it is tail, it will be mapped to the negative values. And what is the number here? Number will be the magnitude twice the value shows on the die. Okay, so here if uh, die is showing 1, it is mapped to the value -2. If it is die is showing 2, it is mapped to the point -4. If die is showing 3, it is mapped to the point 0.06, like this. Okay, So this sample values are mapped to the real axis depending on the function. Okay, so what is this random variable do? This random variable will map all the elements of sample space onto the real line. Okay, so you'll be having some numerical value for every element in the sample space. Okay, so by finding the random variable. Okay, so this is the example for discrete. If you take the example for continuous, here we are taking the fair wheel. Okay, in the fair wheel, the outcomes are numbered from 0 to 12. Okay, since it is continuous, what is the sample space? The sample space will be defined like this: 0 less than s less than or equal to 12. Okay, now what is that random variable? Means it is a function. No, what is the random variable? It is defined here is x of s is equal to s square. So we also discussed that the random variable is function of the elements of s. So what are the elements here? S, no? So x of s is equal to s square. So the random variable now will be 0 less than x less than or equal to 144. 0 less than s less than or equal to 12 square. 12 square is 144. Okay, so this is the example for continuous random variable, whereas in the discrete random variable you will be having only the discrete values. Okay, whereas in the continuous random variable you will be having infinite values. You cannot see, you can take 0, 0.001, like that we can take any value here. So here we'll be having infinite number of values in the case of continuous, whereas in the discrete we'll be having finite number of values. Okay, so this example, particular example, is example for continuous random variable. Okay, so in these two examples we have clearly seen that what is the random variable. Random variable is a function that maps each point in S, okay, in the sample space into some point in on the real axis. Okay, and it is also, you have to also remember that it is not necessary that the sample space points map uniquely. Okay, so for every each and every point you no need to have another point on the real axis. Okay, so it is no need to map uniquely here. Okay, unique way of representation is not required. Okay, so it means that more than one point in S may map into the single value. Okay, so this is also possible because all the values of sample space can also map to only one point. Okay, so that is also possible. For example, you see here this: when you throw a die, observe the number that shows up. Okay, so this can, we are not having what is that, just we are observing the number what is showing up. So this is mapped to some point x is equal to 2. Whatever number you get, when we throw a die, whatever number we will be getting 6 values, no, whatever number it will get, this random variable will map to the single value on the what is that, real axis. Okay, so what is x will be, x will be equal to 2. Okay, so this is also possible here. Okay, and now we'll discuss what are the conditions for a function to be a random variable. We have discussed that random variable is a function. Okay, if we have a function, now we need to check whether that function is a random variable or not. Okay, so what are the conditions we have for a function to be random variable? Here is, actually there are three conditions. The first condition is, if you take any function, that should be single value, it should not be multi-valued. Okay, so for example, you take sine of x. Okay, you substitute any value for x, it has to give only one value. Okay, it has to give only one value, then it is called single value. For example, if you substitute any value here, if it is giving two values, then it is called, okay, then it is called multi-valued. Okay, so usually whatever function we take, all the functions are single valued only, it will not be multi-valued. Okay, so multi-valued means for particular value you should have two results. Okay, For any particular value, if you have two results, then it is called multi-valued. So if you substitute any value here, you will be getting only one result. Maybe this result will be repeating for different values. Okay, so that is not problem. Only problem is you should not get more than one result for particular input. Okay, so that is the condition. So here, what is the first condition? Whatever function you are taking, it should not be multi-valued. Okay, it should be single valued only. Okay, then what are the other two conditions here is, it is given like this. Okay, now for example, you have a set x less than or equal to x. Okay, so the set is represented with capital X and the elements of set is represented with small x. Okay, so x less than or equal to x shall be an event. Okay, it is an event for any real number x. Okay, so this set corresponds to some those points s in the sample space for which random variable is x of s does not exceed the number x. Okay, it means that whatever values you have in the event, because what is random variable? Okay, for example, random variable is function of the elements of sample space. Okay, so if the sample space is having, for example, 6 elements, and random variable should also have the values less than or equal to 6, it should not have the values greater than 6. Okay, so the function does not exceed the number of elements. Okay, so number x, it should does not exceed the number x, means this number of elements in that should be less than or equal to number of elements in the sample space. If it is more than elements in the sample space, means that it becomes multi-valued. Okay, so then only you will be having more number of values. So that is why always the random variable does not exceed the number x. Okay, then there is one more condition here. So that condition is given like this here. For example, okay, you have an infinite event. Okay, if you have an infinite event, if you find out the probability of that event at any particular location, if it is infinite unit. Okay, now what is the probability of any uh, event at particular location? Since it is infinite event, what is the probability of x is equal to minus infinity? Will be 0, because it is impossible event. Is it possible to occur? So it does not possible to occur, so it is impossible event. So probability of x is equal to minus infinity will be 0. Similarly, probability of x is equal to infinity is also impossible event, because you won't be having any event, okay, with only x is equal to infinity, because it is infinite event. If you are taking any particular value, then what is the probability of x is equal to infinity? Will be 0. Okay, so these are the three conditions for any function to be random variable. Okay, so this condition says that it is need not that x can be from minus infinity to plus infinity. You can have the event with the values minus infinity or to plus infinity. Okay, only the requirement is that it says that the probability at x is equal to minus infinity and probability at x is equal to plus infinity will be 0. Okay, so that's all. You can have the event with the values either minus infinity or plus infinity. Okay, these are the three conditions. Now we discuss discrete and continuous random variable. A discrete random variable is one, it has only the discrete values. Okay, so then it is called discrete random variable. Okay, so see this x of s, we have discussed the first example. No, what are the outcomes? We have minus 12, minus 10, minus 8, like this. These are the mapping of the sample space onto the real axis. Okay, so these are the discrete values. Okay, so if it is having discrete values, then we say that it is called discrete random variable. Okay, now what should be the sample space for discrete random variable? Here the sample space for discrete random variable can be discrete, continuous, and even mix of discrete and continuous. Okay, so you can have discrete random variable from discrete sample space, even continuous sample space, or even mix of discrete and continuous sample space. Okay, so for example, you take this example we have discussed in the wheel of chance. In the wheel of chance, the wheel is numbered from 0 to 12. So if you are having the value from 0 to 6, if you have the value from 0 to 6, what is the random variable of that will be 1. How the random variable is defined? It is defined that it is having value 1 if the outcome is 0 less than s less than or equal to 6. And similarly, the random variable is having value -1 if s value is between 6 less than s less than or equal to 12. Okay, so now what is the random variable here? It is having the value 1 and -1. Okay, whereas the sample space, if you see, this is continuous sample space. Okay, so if you are having continuous sample space, you can get discrete random variable. Okay, so for discrete random variable, the sample space can be discrete, continuous, even the mixture of discrete and continuous. Okay, whereas now we discuss continuous random variable. In the case of continuous random variable is one having the continuous range of values. Okay, it will be having the continuous range of values. So just now we have discussed the wheel of chance. In the wheel of chance, what is the values here? It is varying from 0 less than s less than or equal to 144. Yes or no? So it is having the continuous range of values. So this type of random variable is called continuous random variable. Okay, so this does not depend on the function, it depends on the values of x after converting your sample space into the real number. Okay, so that can be done by random variable, yes or no? So the from the values of x, so these are the values of x. Okay, so from these values we can find out whether it is continuous random variable or discrete random variable. You can have the function, same function, but only the range you have to check. If the range is giving continuous form, then it is called continuous random variable. If the range is giving discrete form, then it is called discrete random variable. Okay, and it is also observed that the continuous random variable cannot be produced from discrete sample space. Okay, because all random variables be single valued function of all sample space points. That is why you cannot obtain discrete from continuous random variable from discrete sample space. Okay, similarly, continuous random variable cannot be obtained from mixed mixture of both continuous and discrete random variable. So that is why continuous random variable can be obtained only from continuous sample space. Because what why we cannot obtain continuous random variable from discrete sample space? Because whatever random variable function we are taking, that should be single valued. Because of that single valued function, since you have discrete values, it will also, if you have discrete finite number of values in the input, it will also give you only discrete finite values in the output. That is why you cannot obtain continuous random variable from discrete sample space. Similarly, you cannot obtain, okay, continuous random variable from mixture of both continuous and discrete sample space. Okay, and now we discuss what is mixed random variable. In the case of mixed random variable, we will be having some of its values are of discrete, some of the values are continuous. Okay, so this is the form of mixed random variable. Okay, so this mixed random variable is of very least important type of random variable. Okay, so it will be used only in some practical conditions we are using this. Okay, so now we see this example here. You see here, the sample space is defined like this. It is having the values s is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now x of s, what is x of s? It is a function that is function of the sample space. So x of s is defined like this. X of s is equal to s cube. X of s is equal to s cube. Okay. It is defined like this. X of s is equal to s cube. Okay. Now you write what is the random variable. So what is the random variable? Since it is a s cube, So what is S? S is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. S cube will be 1, 8, 27, 64. Okay. Now it is also given that what is the probability of 1? The probability of give 1 in the problem. It is given as 1 by 4 by 24. Okay. Similarly, probability of 2 is 3 by 24. Probability of 3 is 7 by 24. Probability of 4 is 10 by 24. These are the values given. Okay. Then the probability of random variables. Okay. So what is the probability of random variable? P is equal to X is equal to 1. For what is that? Since X 1 is mapped to 1 only, no ma. 1 is mapped to 1. See here, this is the 1 mapped to 1, and 2 is mapped to what? 8. 3 is mapped to 27. 4 is mapped to 64. Now what is the probability that random variable X is equal to 1 will be probability of 1 only? Probability of random variable X is equal to 8 will be equal to probability of 2. Okay. So probability of random variable X is equal to 27 will be probability of 3. Okay. Like that, whichever number it is mapped, the probability of that particular numerical will be equal to what is its corresponding element in the sample space. Okay, what is the probability of its corresponding element in the sample space? Now see here, probability of 1 will be equal to probability of X is equal to 1. Okay, so this is the element of sample space, whereas this is the value of random variable. What is this? This is the value of random variable, whereas this is the element of sample space. Okay. And similarly, if you see here next, what is 2? 2 is mapped to what, ma? 8, no? 2 is mapped to 8. So probability of 2 will be equal to, what is the probability of random variable is equal to 8? Will be equal to, these two are same. Here 3 by 4, 24. Here also 3 by 24. Similarly, 3. 3 is mapped to, probability of 3 is mapped to, see here, probability of the random variable is equal to 27. So here you have 27 by 27 24. Here also we have 7 by 24. Like that, probability of random variable X is equal to 64. These two values will be same. It is 10 by 24. Here also it is 10 by 24. Okay, so the probability of any particular element on the sample space will be equal to the probability of the random variable corresponding to that element. Okay, so that is why like that we will be finding the probability of elements in the random variable. Okay, so because one-to-one mapping of discrete points, we will be getting these probabilities. Okay. Now similarly, this we have discussed. Now we have taken that the temperature at particular range is varying from minus 60 Fahrenheit to 120 Fahrenheit. Okay. Now what is the range here? Minus 60 to 120. What type of what type of sample space it is? It is a continuous sample space. Okay. It is not discrete sample space. It is continuous sample space. And here it is assumed that all these values are equally probable. All these values are equally probable. Okay. Now if you want to find out what is the probability of particular change of temperature, there is small change in the temperature, what is the probability of occurring the change in the temperature is given as, what is the change difference, the difference in the change divided by what is the highest temperature minus the lowest temperature. So the probability is given by dt by 180 Fahrenheit. Okay, dt by 180 Fahrenheit. Okay. So like that we will be finding. Now for example, if you want to find out the probability of any single temperature, in that case what is the probability will be 0. So because the probability will be 0, because what is this? It is a continuous sample space. The range of this value will be infinity. The range of this value will be infinity. If you take only single value, then dt, the change becomes 0. The change in the temperature is becomes 0. So the probability will become 0. Okay.